So apparently status does not keep you safe from fraud. Here's what happened with Olympic legend Usain Bolt as he lost millions. It led to a fraud investigation. But what exactly went missing? Millions of dollars were reported missing from the Olympic legend's account that he had set up at a private wealth management firm. According to reports, the retired sprinter began the new year in financial ruin, with only $2,000 in his bank account. Yikes! The Jamaican financial authorities decided to launch an investigation. Well, duh, they totally should. Who knew even athletes at the Olympic level could be victims of such a large-scale fraud? Now, what chance do the rest of us have? Based in the capital of Kingston, Stocks and Securities Ltd., the private wealth management company in question, was placed under enhanced oversight. That sounds ominous. The FSC is currently conducting an inquiry into the missing funds. We sure hope Bolt's manager is doing okay amidst all this. Speaking of Bolt's manager, what did Nugent Walker have to say? Usain Bolt's manager Nugent told the media outlets that his star athlete had been investing with the company for over a decade. Naturally, neither of them would have predicted that this would happen. Walker also claimed that all the right steps were being taken to get to the bottom of the situation. And I just hope there are still millions left at the bottom. Currently, Bolt's entire portfolio is being reviewed after he caught some discrepancies earlier. Now that has to be one of the most terrifying feelings, don't you think? To be scammed out of $9,998,000 is insane to me. All that hard work over the years has vanished. Poof, poor Usain Bolt, and possibly others. Who else has been a victim of SSL fraud? Besides the celebrated athlete, over 30 people in total have lost a massive chunk of their change from their savings. $1.2 billion to be exact. That's a billion with a capital B, my friends. Let that sink in. Apparently, an internal employee at SSL was assisting an outside wealth advisor and all hell broke loose. Initially, alarm bells went off in August of 2022, but the scammer wasn't caught then. As for recovering all those funds right now, your guess is as good as mine. About those funds, what else is included in Bolt's financial losses? The financial hardship that Usain Bolt is going through right now may go all the way back to 2013. That's the time he got the Puma ambassadorship and was reportedly paid up to $10 million every year. In November of 2022, Bolt shared a picture on his Instagram account supporting the brand, wearing a black, turquoise, and coral sweatsuit. He combined it with golden and yellow sneakers, giving us all those #OOTD vibes, but it all seems a little sad now. Speaking of the past, the SSL was accused of shady practices in the past as well. The Financial Services Commission previously also reported that the SSL was doing unauthorized sales in the past. Geez, did no one see this whole disaster coming? A report released by an FSC entity claimed that the SSL overlooked authorization procedures for FSC-based transactions. That resulted in SSL being questioned by its investors, including Bolt. Bolt's management team had already warned the SSL about the possibility of a potential financial scam. It looks like the Sprinters team was way ahead of anyone and had alarm bells ringing when no one else could have fathomed the gravity of the situation. I guess he's as quick off the track field as he was on the track field.
Record holder, how much faster can you get?
You can never tell how fast you can go, but for me, I think there's definitely room for improvement.
But not everyone can be as smart as Bolt and sense something's going wrong. It's common practice for most athletes to make millions of dollars in revenue these days. From brand partnerships to actual sporting events, they've kind of got it all. Unfortunately for them, not everyone has the financial skills to deal with the massive inflow of money and could end up bankrupt. Well, let's take a look at athletes that have gone bankrupt despite their millions. First, the man who made more than $250 million. Evander Holyfield made a lot of money, but unfortunately, it's all gone now. Now, how'd he lose his money, you ask? Well, he's got 11 children, and he's $9,000 behind in child support money. Note to self, definitely wouldn't want to be him right now, or ever. The bank also recently foreclosed on his crazy mansion, which was valued at $10 million. Apparently, he also owes a hell of a lot of money, $500,000 to be exact, to a landscaping firm that did all the yard work. I wonder what he wanted his bushes to look like if he was willing to pay $500,000. Do you know who else lost almost $500,000? Johnny Unitas may not have earned millions of dollars initially as one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL ever, but he did know how to lose it all. His paycheck started at $7,000 a year, and the biggest one came to a total of $425,000. He was one hell of a player and made it to the Hall of Fame with record-breaking numbers. That's probably why it's really hard to believe that he filed for bankruptcy in 1991. The poor guy died 11 years later under a mountain of debt and lawsuits. What a pity. Talking about the greats reminds us of this next one on our list. Bjorn was probably one of the best tennis players to hail from Sweden.
That's it! Tennis trophy presented by King George V.
But the man easily became addicted to drugs. And you all know what they say. Kids, don't do drugs. Yep, drugs are perhaps the easiest way to lose all your fortune. I think it's the same as taking your money and dumping it in a toilet. Poof. After winning a whopping 11 Grand Slam titles,
And there, Chief Marshal Sir Brian Bennett, the chairman of the crowd.
Bjorn lost his entire fortune to his unfortunate habit. Currently, he's trying to make a living by selling underwear. Well, all work is hard work. And you know who else was fond of hard work? Michael Jordan. But for this list, let's highlight someone who is known as the Michael Jordan of the WNBA.
33 points for Swoops.
Okay, let's just take a minute to appreciate how incredibly cool that name is. Swoops. Just rolls off the tongue smoothly, doesn't it? Well, other than her name, she also had skills smooth enough which she used to amass a $50 million fortune. But unfortunately for her, she ended up filing for bankruptcy in 2004. Bet that knocked your socks off. Well, it turns out you should never trust your agents or your lawyers because they'll end up taking most of it. Poor Cheryl ended up owing more than $750,000 and her career in shambles. You've seen what drugs can do to someone's fortune, and you've also seen what back payment and child support does. Now, can you imagine having both problems? Well, the final person on our list sure could. Travis Henry had it all. A great career as a running back for the Buffalo Bills and Denver Broncos with the money to show for it. But he developed a terrible drug problem and ended up fathering 9 children with 9 different mothers. That got Henry into massive debt. To make matters worse, he even lost a whopping $25 million contract with the Broncos because he was arrested. Can you guess what he was arrested for? Yep, drug trafficking. A tragic end to a great career. Well, those were the athletes that lost their millions. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos just like this. See you in the next video.